Hi, Tracy Fines, real estate investor, and on today's talk, I continue part two of building your dream team and the significance of how important it is to have amazing relationships with your trades, suppliers. These people have a lot of influence in the business of flipping and renovations and building houses, and you want to have amazing relationships with them so that you can be successful and have great outcomes. So enjoy the talk and thank you for listening.
Tracy is an experienced investor and builder, published interior designer, and she has won numerous awards for design. Tracy is an award-winning author and international speaker who has been featured in international publications and on television. Having a zest for life, a love of great design, and an enthusiasm for creating beauty, she will uplift and inspire you to take massive action in your life to achieve your goals. And she wants to help you do the same. Please welcome Tracy Fines.
Whoa, hello. Tracy Fines, a real estate investor of 25 years here. Just welcoming you today to my presentation all about the Dream Team. So last week I talked about who are the key people of influence. When you're a real estate investor, flipper, you need it's like you need a village, right, to do these kind of projects. There's a lot of moving parts, right? And it takes a lot of people to help you, and you delegate the project to different suppliers, consultants, and trades so that they can support you in your journey on making millions of dollars. So I want to continue the conversation today from the last video I did, or the last presentation I did, about assembling your dream team and who is on your dream team. So last week, just as a short recap, I talked about the importance of your real estate agent and having the right real estate agent that understands you as a investor. And it is a special type of buyer, investors. And so real estate agents need to work differently with an investor. Then we had the mortgage broker, because as entrepreneurs, we have challenges typically getting A-type bank lending. As an entrepreneur and as a real estate investor, we like to stretch ourselves because we want to grow and want to improve, and we want to get our life to the next level. So we're always stretching, which means that sometimes we just don't qualify for a standard bank, and that's okay. I'm doing projects right now, and I'm working with many private lenders. So that is okay. And so mortgage broker is a key person of influence to get you the financing that you need as an investor. Now, different mortgage brokers have different private lenders, and that's pretty much the category that you're going to fall into a lot of the time is private lending. And that's okay as well, because you're going to build that extra cost into the job. So that's what you're going to most likely do. And then I spoke about having the accountant to do the tax planning. And then I'm not going to go into it anymore because, you can go and listen to that presentation, part one. And then we have the lawyer, right? You need also a real estate lawyer. Okay. Very important as well. So, and then I started talking, and then I also finished talking about how important your planner is. And in my case, I'm using an architectural technologist a lot. So they're not an architect per se, but they certainly have the ability to help me design and specify my houses that I'm building. And you can use an architect as well. And I've found that in the past, architects are a little more expensive than technologists. You can also use a draftsperson. It just depends on what their capabilities are, and that's something you're just going to interview them for and find out. Okay, so that's where I left off last week. So I'm going to continue now talking about more of the people that are going to be really key people of influence in your sphere as a real estate investor. So once you have the planning taken care of, and I told you how important it is that you get a planner who has connections to the city that you're working in, the city building department, the city planning, urban planning department, the planners in the city. Very, very key to have that relationship. You're going to basically piggyback on your planner's relationships with the city, because the planner, remember, they're doing a lot of planning for many, many different clients like myself, and they're going to the city practically daily. They're probably not going there now because we're in this pandemic thing, but they're calling the city. They have connections with the city. They have all of the phone numbers for the workers, the reviewers of plans reviewers and all of that at the city. So you want to piggyback on those relationships. You don't want to work with an outsider, someone from outside the city that's not familiar with the ropes. They want to definitely work with a planner that has those connections. Okay. So once you have your planning figured out, you're going to, you're going to get your plan submitted and get your building permit. Once you have your plans finished and they've been submitted for permit, you can basically start to get quotes, like official quotes, on the project. Now, as a beginner, okay, I'm going to talk to you beginner right now. As a beginner, when you're going to get the work done, and this is one of the modules actually in my program, is just getting the work done. It's a very big module, a very big component, right? It's most of the time and energy goes into getting the work done. So when you are a beginner, what I want to give you the advice on how to handle this is, if it's a small type job that I recommend beginners start with, like something that's not too complicated, maybe it's kitchens and baths, maybe it's finishing a basement, those things you can probably handle managing the trades for. And I do go through the order of events that happen, the order of the work that happens on your project. And maybe what I'll do is I will do a presentation talk on the order once I get through the dream team. So that will be something that I will get to eventually here on my regular talks. But it is the bulk of the job, is getting the work done. So when you're a beginner, I certainly don't recommend a really complicated job. I would say, something cosmetic makes sense, and you can then manage that job most likely yourself by hiring the kitchen cabinet company, getting them to do to do a plan up for you, because most kitchen companies will do a layout for you, and they have kitchen, everything they do is kitchen, so they generally know what's a great layout, what's a more typical, getting creative. If you get sort of a good kitchen company that has that creative edge, that would be really beneficial, because they'll have designers most likely on staff to help you with the planning. So once you find a kitchen company that you can see their work, and you see what kind of kitchens they've done in the past, and you'll know right away if you like what they've done or not, then you can basically hire someone that you really like their work, and they will help you a lot with the kitchen design. So that's definitely one of the biggest key trades, suppliers, because they are not only installers, but they're also suppliers, right? They're building the cabinets, usually in their shop, and then they deliver them all, and then they will have installers to install it. So they're a supplier, and like they do the labor and materials, right? So they are both. So they would probably be, for a beginner's project, the most key trade that you're wanting to get sort of started with right away, because it's a long delivery time, right? You have to wait for that custom kitchen to be made. It could be anywhere from 6 to 16 weeks, depending on how busy they are. So most important step in getting the work done is having that key kitchen company to really support you in, first of all, making sure the design is great, because we know kitchens and baths sell real estate typically. And we know also that women typically make the buying decision on what house to go with, the nest, right? That's the woman's more instinctual role, is to build the nest. So the key supplier and installer is the kitchen company. You've got to get those cabinets on order so that they get there as soon as possible, because you don't want the work to be delayed. Delays mean delays cost you money. So you want a tight schedule. So that kitchen company is going to be someone really important to have a good one. Of course, the order of the work is demolition starts first. Whatever it is you're going to be knocking down or getting rid of, like old kitchen, old bathrooms, you got to tear it all out. Okay. I wouldn't say that the demolition company is any like key player for your dream team. Not even close, right, to the kitchen company. But I would definitely get a really good relationship established with that kitchen company. And then you're going to have trades come in for the framing. I wouldn't say that they're a key player in your dream team. It's nice to, of course, have great relationships with all the trades and have this, it's the best when you can just keep working with the same trades. If they are reliable and their prices are fair, then it's beneficial to you as a real estate investor to keep using the same people, because once you build that relationship, when something goes wrong or you have a problem, they are more apt to be there to support you in whatever you're doing and help you get it fixed. Be there when you call, this is really key, just to have those trades that when you call them, they come. They come when they say they're going to come. They show up when they say they're going to show up. And that's really important as an investor, because again, time is money. And if you can't get a problem fixed, it could be a snowball effect and trickle down to many trades that are waiting for that trade to finish their work. You see, there's a sequence that has to happen when you're constructing anything. And if, the framers don't do their work, then the electrician can't do his work, and so on and so forth. I have had the pleasure, and I'm actually going to bring him on the show. I'm going to bring on some of my trades actually onto this show, because I really want to give you sort of an insight into what they're thinking and how they work and what they do and what they don't do and the pitfalls that they see happen and how you can avoid those. So the next person that I'm referring to is my electrician. So my electrician and I go way back. In fact, he was the electrician on my second ever flip. And he never came on my first flip. He was on my second flip. So 1996. So I have known him since 1996. So that's 24 years. That is a very long built relationship with great rapport. And he is always, he's available to always for me. I mean, of course, he's on jobs, and of course, I can't just pull him off jobs, but he does go out of his way to accommodate me. And that's what a great relationship is all about, is supporting each other. So that's definitely a key person for me, is my electrician. And then the other bigger players are like the plumber. And he's really also someone that I have the same, like I definitely try and keep the same trades as much as I possibly can, right? To build that relationship. And plumber and heating and air conditioning people, all again, very instrumental in making your house work, right? They have to be there. Not only do they have to be there in the beginning stages to do all the hidden stuff behind the drywall, but they have to come back at the end and do all the stuff that, is on the top of the drywall, like lights, taps, ductwork, vents, and fireplaces, and so they're all important. And at the same time, as you're going through the work process, you're actually also dealing with lots of suppliers, because you need to have all the materials that the laborers are installing into that property. So you have a ton of suppliers. You've got all the fixturing people. So you have all the taps, all the things for the bathrooms, the tubs, the shower, the taps. We have all the I already mentioned the millwork. And then you also have all the tiles. So these are all key people to have on site. Tiles take time to get delivered, and you want to definitely be working with a company that supports you logistically to get those tiles there when they're supposed to be there. So at the same time, then we have, once we have the guts in the walls, then we're going to have the drywallers, right? So you definitely want to have, people that you can call readily, that you trust, and they will show up when they do. And it hasn't been 100% perfect, of course. Like, there's been lots of times for me that trades don't show up. I think I've even mentioned this in my when I do my live webinars on Wednesdays. Sometimes I am the one picking up the trash, and in fact, even after 25 years, I'm still getting my hands dirty on site, and that's part of being the investor in real estate, is that you end up taking full responsibility for that project. So it falls on your shoulders inevitably if something goes wrong, if something falls between the gaps, and you got to basically step in and be prepared to fill in whatever that may be. And that's like, that's not like the glamorous side. That's not like the really fun side of flipping real estate, but it's just part of the reality of it. And it's okay, because overall, like, I wouldn't change anything about what I do, how I do it. I'm sure of course there's things like would change. I'm always wanting to grow and improve. So I don't want to stay the same. I do want to improve all the time. But honestly, it's a great flipping life, and I love what I do, and it's so much fun. It can be very stressful at times, but just know that stress will pass you, and you will sort out whatever the problems are, because there are always going to be problems on every project. So I hope that this has been helpful. What else? And anyone else that I'm thinking of right now that's a key player? There is another one, actually. Your carpenter. This is someone that, oh my goodness, like, if they are a good finishing carpenter, you want to keep them so close to you, because the finishing is so key. They hang the doors. They make sure they swing and they're balanced. And they put in all the baseboards and the trims around the doors and the casings and all that. You want that to look amazing. That's part of the, almost like the jewelry to me, the finishing touches. And so get an amazing carpenter and get a few, right? Get a few of each that are amazing, so that you can always call on different ones to give you quotes. And then if one's busy when you need them, you can always use another one. So it's a good idea to have, I would say, like 3 good, solid trades in each category, so that you can always get competitive quotes. And if one says, oh, I'm really tied up until like another month, and that's not going to work for your schedule, you have someone else that you can ask. So what else? Tile layer, another key person, because again, it's like the finishing touches, right? So if you have really like a crooked tiling and not level, like it shows so much. So get some really great tile layers to support you. Really important. Go and inspect their work before you hire them. Say, hey, I want to see some of your work. Like, ask some of the clients that you've worked for. Ask them if we can come and take a look. Pictures are good, but it's nicer to go and just see, because believe me, your eye will pick it up. You just look at tiles, you'll be like, oh, there's like raised edges here. They're not flush. They're crooked. They don't line up. So you'll see it. I mean, your eye won't lie to you. And other than that, let's see. Painters, same thing. Get a few painters. And wood flooring companies, same thing. Get a few of those guys that are amazing. Look at see their work. Other than that, I think I've covered most of the trades then. So you definitely want to have, as a beginner, a smaller project with all those key trades supporting you. When you get into larger projects, you may have it in your budget to hire a general contractor. So I'm at a point now where, like, if I'm going to build a house, I really am not interested in doing the management of that project anymore. So for me, I'm actually suggesting to you as a beginner to potentially use a general contractor, because the process can be very overwhelming for a beginner. If you're going to build something like an addition, or you're going to build a whole brand new house, I would not recommend a beginner to take those projects on themselves and be the general. I would then say, get a general contractor. And again, same thing. Referrals are always the best way to find a great general. Go check out their work, how long they've been in business, do they have the proper licenses, all of that. Definitely get referrals. It's always the best. But now, as I'm saying to you, like after 25 years, I'm not interested now in managing the process of the construction site. So I am now looking to build 2 new homes, and I've got a 3rd house that I'm going to be renovating. And honestly, I'm not interested in doing any of the management. I am going to hire a general to do this for me. So you don't have to be a beginner to hire a general, is my point. My time is better used somewhere else, and I'm going to let the experts take care of the project so I don't have to worry about it. So I hope that I've given you some great value today, and I will say goodbye for today, and I will speak to you next time, and maybe I will talk about the order of getting the work done. So have a wonderful day, and I thank you, and take care.